Yo, episode 283. We made a podcast. Holly, I need you to do the Portuguese number.
I know. Honestly, I was gonna look it up in French, but I should have.
Well, we only got English 283 today. Caesar is not here, traversing the world, going out there colonizing Hawaii once again. Caesar's out there, I guess for a wedding or something like that. He'd be in
Happy
and
times.
in and out of Hawaii, really. They're
Yeah,
asking.
does he live there
He went
part
to
time?
he went to college there for a couple of years, and now he thinks he's one of the natives. They be asking people not to come there, but he just don't even care. But it's all good. But we got Holly in the building, straight from Toronto, Canada. How you doing?
Good as always. Yeah, it's global warming is hitting hard up here.
Interesting.
It, it's a whole whopping 7 degrees today, which is for December pretty good.
Okay, well,
Pretty good.
I'm gonna have to look that up. Let's see.
The weekly weather conversion.
44 degrees. Okay, not too bad, and it's not snowing.
No, it
Mm,
hasn't snowed much yet.
okay, all right. 44 degrees. It's hitting like 49, 50 here at night. That's the low, but we're still getting in the upper 60s, 70s in the day right now. We're getting sunny days out here. Wait, did it freeze? What happened? Oh,
It froze.
it actually froze. I was like, you're really still. But yeah, we got to show some love for Canada. Sadly, they're out of the World Cup. We're going to be talking about the World Cup today. Gonna do some quick recaps of these round of 16 matches that were pretty good. Talk a little bit about Holly's favorite player, Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Jr., whatever. Um, we're gonna preview some of these quarterfinals that are coming up, and maybe we'll talk about some rumors and some players retiring and all that stuff. But I actually got something to say about the whole Ronaldo stuff. I think Holly's got a Biggie Small shirt on over there.
I do. I do.
Represent. You got any lines? Got any Biggie lines?
Put me on the spot.
Yeah, because anytime
I,
Caesar wears some musician, I'm like, Caesar, you got some bars or what?
I love it when you call me Big Papa.
Okay, all right, all right. Okay, Holly, I don't know which of these games you watched, but did you see Netherlands versus USA?
I did. That was one of the games that I watched on the weekend.
Yeah, it's been a
Uh,
while now, but we'll talk about it.
yeah. I mean, I kind of figured this would be the outcome. Um, I just I didn't see none of the CONCACAF teams were overly convincing, except for Costa Rica. They had a very good run. Um,
Oh, not even Canada. Canada played some good football at least, though.
they did. No, they played well, and it's just I think they're just not there yet. It was a lot. I mean, I don't know if we want to get into Canada, but there wasn't. I wouldn't say there was any pressure on them to really do well,
For sure.
but I think a lot of people their expectations might have been too high. They doubted the wrong teams, and me.
I don't know if this is me freezing up this time, but I'll keep talking just in case it's not me freezing up.
Turns out Morocco is.
There we go.
Did I cut out again?
Froze for a second, yeah.
Oh no. I was going off.
uh,
Um,
well, you were still talking about Canada's expectations. Are people expecting something out of Canada?
yes. Well, I was saying like everyone, me included, probably doubted the wrong teams. Like I doubted Morocco when I probably shouldn't have because they have proven themselves this tournament. And I thought a team like Belgium would be probably the hardest match. And
Uh,
skill for skill, and I think that was probably like their closest game in the group.
oh, yeah.
Um, at least for the entirety of it, the beginning of the Croatia match was pretty close. And then it just kind of got way too far out of their reach. But
I feel like, I mean, when we're talking about USA, like, I mean, I live here, so and like I follow people on Twitter who are for some reason USA men's national team fans. And so I think I get a lot of the hype. So like it ends up making me expect them to be good. I don't watch them. But even though USA went further than Canada technically, I think that Canada played like I think at the end of this World Cup, actually, let me say this first. Netherlands USA, I think that USA like they didn't really show me anything to make me feel like, oh, this is a team that belongs in the round of 16 necessarily. Netherlands looked pretty comfortable most of the time. USA had some chances. You're going to get some chances,
mhm.
but and Netherlands is not like blowing teams out of the water this tournament necessarily either. Um, but a USA men's national team who has like all their players, all like all the guys that get hype from their fans. I, I think at the end of this tournament, I feel like Canada, even and obviously Canada topped the group, topped CONCACAF coming into the World Cup, but I feel like Canada is more of a threat coming out of CONCACAF than USA like solidified. I think Canada is like one midfielder away, like
Mhm.
and maybe a forward too. Like I wasn't too impressed with Laren and David this tournament. I don't know if it was nerves, like I don't know, but I think they're a midfielder away from being like a team that can really do some damage. Um, but the Canada that I saw against Belgium would do better than USA did against Netherlands, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I do agree with that. And like you said, they did top like they were at the top of the table going qualifying for
Mm-hmm.
the World Cup in the octagonal or all that stuff. But I do agree, they're not there yet. There's no depth, and yeah, like Hutchinson isn't going to be at the next World Cup.
No, and I
You've
think that he shouldn't really have been at this one. I mean, not that he shouldn't be there, but I think that you don't get that movement from someone like him. He's
Yeah,
older now.
yeah, and there was lots of talk. Um, I think it was after the Croatia game that like he was going to get subbed off at half, I believe, and he said no, like I want to keep going. And I don't know if that was like a selfish reach, like he wanted to be there, he wanted to, play it out, or if he thought that was the best move. But also the fact that, I always find it weird when coaches listen to players like that. It's different to be like, no, I want to stay. Of course, you want to stay on, but I don't know when it could actually maybe change the game. Maybe not for Canada, because, like I said, I don't know who, like, there's not enough, like you said, not enough midfielders to really uh get them much further. But
But you're saying that Ronaldo isn't the only old player that wants to play. It seems like that.
yeah, and
Uh,
even like for Ronaldo's like status and standards, I think it's a little absurd when like coaches listen to players like that.
no, I agree. I think the coach is there to say like, I mean, if that's true, like I guess we don't know if that's necessarily true, but I mean, I think anybody watching the match, you can see that there is something missing in the midfield with Atiba Hutchinson there, just because he can't cover the ground, and he's a defensive midfielder. You need somebody to cover that ground, you know.
Mhm.
I mean, you even see with Sergio Busquets with Barcelona. I didn't really watch Spain, but I'm sure it's still the case. You need somebody that's going to cover a lot of ground, and your legs don't move the same when you're older.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're talking about Canada. It's about the USA. I mean, USA men's national team is trash, and I'm mad that they made it even that far. But I'm very happy that they were smacked in the round of 16 by a team that I'm sure that the USA fans thought they could beat. They for sure thought they could beat Netherlands.
For
Because
sure.
Netherlands wasn't looking so hot coming in. But
No,
yeah,
and I had them. I don't have it in front of me, but I'm pretty sure I did have the Netherlands
in the final, if
going
I'm not
for.
mistaken.
Was it the final?
I
I
think
don't know about
so.
that
I
anymore.
think so.
But I did have them. I was very convinced prior to the tournament. But yeah, during the group stage and uh
Well, I
this
think
match,
Depay is coming off an injury,
he is, yeah.
and
And
I
he got
feel
his goal. He did get a
he
goal.
did get a goal. I feel like they look good. It's the World Cup, and honestly, the football's not great in the World Cup, so you never know. Like, I mean, we're gonna get into some of these other games. Like, a team can score a lot of goals, but it doesn't mean like they're not playing like that every single match. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, I'm not gonna count them out yet just because they haven't been flying so high, because that's not how the matches are every match in the World Cup. But let's move on. Argentina did beat Australia 2-1. I was going for Australia hard. You know what I mean? The Commonwealth, Wentworth. I don't have no love for Argentina. But Argentina won. I forgot who scored for Australia.
What's his name?
I mean, I wouldn't even know, but I can't really
Oh,
remember.
didn't they count it as an own goal?
Maybe I kind of can't remember. I should actually pull up the match, but I was hoping maybe Australia could get into extra time, but it did not happen.
Yeah.
uh, there were so many matches that I just watch, and I'm like, I just don't understand defense in soccer. It just blows my mind. Even when I play, I'm just like, I really hate how soccer players play defense. It just drives me insane. You don't ever want to watch a match with me. I just can't take it as a
Why? What
because
is
they just watch the ball. Like every single player, like when the other team has the ball, every single person is just watching the ball, and like these offensive players behind you doing whatever. And all you got to do is look over your shoulder and just get in the passing lane. That's all you got to do. And it's actually, I mean, I'm not going to go off on this because see, now I'm on a tangent. But when me and Caesar used to play FIFA a lot, like I would, like when we first started playing, I am not a good FIFA player. Like I can't do the moves with the ball, none of that. But defensively, like I understand concepts. So I get in passing lanes all day. And I think he never even thought about that. like,
Mhm.
like it's not even a concept. I'm just like, all you gotta do is look over your shoulder, just move over. In soccer, if the dude with the ball over there sees that you're just near a player, they will not pass him the ball. It's easy, but they
Yeah.
don't do it. They all just watch the ball, and then they just don't even think about what's going on behind them. And then
No,
it's
it is true. Yeah.
it blows my mind. Um, anyway, yeah, so that's why I was so mad when Messi scored that goal. I'm just like, what? Like, like, just don't let him do that. Like, just don't let him. He's, like I know he's good, but like you got to think about him if he's good. But they're just so dumb. France, Poland. That one was not close at all. The battle of the World War II victims. France came out on top. Giroud scored his goal, became the highest goal scorer for France, which I hate. Um, and Mbappe scored 2 goals after that. Was never close. I guess Lewandowski. Did he score before that?
He scored his penalty at the end.
Okay, was that his first goal? Did he score in the match before that? I think he scored in the match
I
before.
think he scored before, yeah,
Yeah, so that was his first World Cup goal, and I guess he got his second. He could feel good about himself.
as they packed their bags.
Indeed. England versus Senegal. I didn't watch that. Um,
I didn't either, but your boy Jog,
Jog
looking
Bellingham is
he's
making the
not
headlines.
looking yeah, he's looking pretty good.
I didn't
Player
watch.
of the tournament?
I,
Question
I
mark.
didn't. I didn't watch the game, but I'll say this: I don't trust anybody's analysis of a player except for my own. And like Caesar, if I can tell he's serious. And maybe yours, yeah, I haven't seen you analyze a player yet though. So we'll see. Like I haven't seen you like break down a guy yet. If Jog Bellingham is scoring goals, like that's great for his team, but I'm not gonna like rate him as a good midfielder based on him scoring goals. And I'm definitely not gonna rate it on the World Cup. Like, no,
No,
dude.
that's fair.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna rate it against Senegal, who like the 2018 World Cup literally had no midfield. Like they're literally passing it. Whoever center back is just passing it to Mane, and Mane is just being Neymar. And I'm like, this is the. I remember that. I think they played Japan. I'm like, this is brutal. But that's good for England. And to be honest with you, I think England has a chance. When I look at their team, even though Raheem Sterling went back home, I guess there was like a break-in at his house. And I feel like Raheem Sterling is just over sports. Uh, but they do have a good team. They got Phil Foden, Harry Kane. Um, Declan Rice is a really good player, a good midfielder, and very good for the World Cup. Jog Bellingham. We'll
Harry
talk.
Maguire.
Your favorite. But we'll talk about the quarterfinals in a little bit. Let's continue this round of 16. Japan versus Croatia ended up 1-1 going to penalties, and Croatia won on penalties.
See, this is the thing about Croatia is that this is the beginning of what happened the last World Cup.
Yeah.
Once it hits round of 16, I don't know if like there's some sort of switch in the team. I mean, it's only been, we'll see what happens in the next match against Brazil, but they just always take it to penalties or extra time, and they are an older team. They're tiring themselves out. They're going through the exact same thing they did 4 years ago. So
Well,
that'll be interesting.
I thought that Luka Modric would be like exhausted after that 2018 World Cup final. Like I think they had won Champions League that year too. Real Madrid did. Like they won Champions League, so you end up late into the season. Then you go into the World Cup. So I'm thinking like the next season, like he's washed. They were talking about him going to Inter, and he was balling out that next season. So I don't really think they're getting tired like that. Really, if you watch the matches, they don't really run that much. So I think they're fine.
Yeah.
I think there's more mental exhaustion, probably. But we'll see. Brazil sadly beat the dog shit out of South Korea. That was pretty bad. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
there was a point there I was like, come on, man, damn. Like they're just going like you're always scoring like real goals on them, dude. Like, come on now. And they were dancing on them too, but it was all good. Who's the English guy that was mad about it? Is that one of the
Roy Keane.
yeah, it was Keane, one of your
He's
guys.
always mad. Yeah. One of my he's always mad at the dancing, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Especially at the World Cup.
Exactly, dude. Like, come on. You know, we're having like the homophobic World Cup of the year. Like, let's have some fun while we're there at least,
Yeah.
dude. Like, come on now. Morocco versus Spain, 0-0 went to penalties in Morocco. Won the penalty shootout. Spain didn't make any penalties. Spain was looking real goofy. Apparently, just passed. I didn't watch the match, but just passing the ball around for forever.
Yeah. I actually have some stats about penalties at this World Cup.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Because I mean, so there's been a decent amount of penalties, and now two of the round of 16 matches went to penalties. But just in general, like it's been one of the worst like tournaments for penalties. Like they haven't been like the success rate's only about like 57%.
Damn.
Which is pretty low considering who's at the tournament. Like Messi's missed what, twice?
Has he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he
Damn.
missed twice.
What a bum. Well,
And the fact that Spain didn't score a single one, and like that's pretty unheard of.
that's
Um,
an embarrassment.
I, I think obviously like penalties are always, well, they're usually, I would say they're in the shooters' favor as opposed to the goalie.
100%.
But and even especially with like the foot on the line rule, for goalies having to stay on the line until the ball's touched. But I don't know. I don't know if it's like the fact that it's just like mental exhaustion for all these players that they're not converting penalties.
They're probably just getting in their head. I mean, Morocco versus Spain is a derby, but I think that they're probably just in their head. I mean, and also I think Iñaki Williams did some. He went and saw Pogba's witch doctor and said, "Look, this is the real issue." Iñaki Williams in 2021 summer was saying, "I want to play for Spain." This dude is literally the best Spanish forward. He had got one cap, played all in the youth ranks. He is the best Spanish forward. You're not going to tell me about no Alvaro Morata or whoever else they got, Moreno or whoever. Like all these guys are bums compared to Iñaki Williams. Played 200 something games in a row. Like is amazing. Luis Enrique never want to call him up to the point where he was like, "Oh, I guess I'll just switch to Ghana then." Even though a year before I was saying that I'm Spanish and I want to play for Spain.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is what happens. Spain shouldn't be a team that's going out in the round of 16. They should be scoring goals in a match against Morocco, but they don't have their best forward there. They made them switch, and now you're going out. And then your penalty kicks, you don't have no leaders.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know who took those penalties, but it doesn't matter. You came out with them ugly baby blue jerseys, looking crazy. Like, come on, dude. So yeah, dude, Spain, you're out of here. I don't. I wish bad for Spain because what they did to Iñaki Williams is really messed up. And I've talked about this a million times with Caesar because somebody might be like, "Well, they called up Nico Williams," and yeah, they did. And Nico Williams is really good, but I think that Iñaki Williams would have been the star on Spain. He's a center forward. I think he would have been the star, and I don't think they wanted that. Nico Williams
Yeah.
is a winger, dude. Like, it's come and go, a winger. No offense. But but somebody like dribbling down the line, do a step over and a cross, like whatever. But
Yeah.
but the person that's wearing the number 9 up the middle, like maybe even at some point taking the penalties, like that's a big deal. And y'all are racist, and now you lost the derby.
This definitely could have been a tournament where like he was needed and he could have been a star at this tournament for sure.
Morata, like Alvaro Morata is somebody. He is a skilled player. I have liked him in the past, but unfortunately, when he left Real Madrid, everywhere he went, they put him in the middle, and he's not a center forward. But like he was a Ronaldo clone when he was at Real Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's who he is. He's really a left winger, but he played up the middle so much they just turned him into a center forward, and he's not. Kind of like how Chelsea did with Timo Werner. Like a winger playing the center forward, that's hard. Like
It's a big
it's
difference.
a huge difference. I remember even Ronaldo, like I want to say the year he went to Juve, like before that, or maybe it was like his last year at Real Madrid. They were talking about him like playing up the middle more, and he was like, I'm not a center forward. Like, yeah, somebody who doesn't really know the sport might be like, well, whatever. You're up there,
Yeah.
but it's totally different. Morata has like become a center forward, but it's not in his heart. And also he's a weirdo, and I think he has like no, like he's not a tough guy at all. Like I don't think he has like that mental toughness. And I say he's a weirdo because I remember when he got transferred to Chelsea from Real Madrid, they were at practice somewhere here in America, and they were showing the video of him like leaving the practice because he got signed to Chelsea, and like maybe two people said bye to him. like like everybody else was still stretching. I think it was like Gareth Bale and like Nacho or something. I was like, damn, they do
That's it.
not care that he's leaving, yo.
That's funny.
Oh, he's an asshole, probably. That's why. So yeah, I never really liked him like that. But I do think he is. I don't think he's a bad player, but it's just over for him. Um, but anyway, let's get to the big match. For whatever reason, like for such bad reasons, this became such a big match, and it shouldn't have. But it's Portugal versus Switzerland, two small countries in Europe that, for like this became the biggest match because Ronaldo didn't start. A 38-year-old dude didn't start, and oh my god, the biggest deal in the world. Um,
Once again, this man's stealing headlines
well, I don't
for.
think it was this. I don't think that's his fault on this one though.
So you're saying he should have started?
No, no,
Is that-
I don't even think he should start any of these matches. To be honest with you, like, and I'm not even saying because he's like washed like that, but because you have better players. Like I think Rafael Leao should be starting.
Mhm.
I don't think Jota's there, so they don't really have a player like up the middle like that, unless they put in Ramos, which I got some stuff about him. Um, but I don't think that Ronaldo needed to start any of these matches, and I don't think it's a big deal. Like for me, I don't think it's like for the media trying to clickbait. Yeah, I get it, but I don't think it's a big deal for him to not start this match. And it was just unfortunate that it's like that's all we're seeing before the match and
Yeah.
during the match. And even if I hate Ronaldo, I don't like I don't like narratives that are not real. Like they're showing him on the bench like just in any moment to make it look like he's mad. But I'm like, dude, like the goals, he's like celebrating with the team, dude. Like, come on, yo. Like, this is not right.
Yeah, or the walking off the pitch while everyone's celebrating still.
I'm like, but he
Like
went and celebrated with them already. Like, what the hell, dude? Like, it's just not fair, yo. Like, at some point, you can't like, you can't like bully somebody, dude. Like, I get it. Like, it's mainstream, and they're trying to just get engagement, but I don't think it's a big deal that he didn't start. And to say like, oh, like he's so like he's mad because Ramos got a hat trick. When in the interview with Piers Morgan, he said, "I don't care what happens, like as long as we win."
yeah.
Like I don't know.
I also just I don't know why. I mean, like you said, it's all clickbait, it's all headlines. But I don't understand why people are still surprised when he doesn't start every match, whether it's for club or country. Like that was happening at United, you know, minus the stuff happening behind the scenes. Like he wasn't starting.
Sometimes, yeah,
Um and um like it I just don't get why people think he needs to start every game. Is it because Messi starts every game that they think Ronaldo needs to do that as well? Like the teams are moving on from these players. They're not like me personally, I wouldn't try to revolve a team around a 38-year-old.
absolutely
It's
not.
just like it doesn't there's no logic in that. So I don't get why people are surprised. Trying to, and yeah, like the constant shots of him on the bench when there's nothing going on and he's straight faced. Like, of course he's gonna be straight faced
You're
when
just
there's nothing.
looking.
Yeah, like he's watching the game like everyone else. So
Yeah, I like for me. It's just like why, dude? Like, and the unfortunate thing is because like the media people are so lazy. Like they'd rather like they know that bringing up Ronaldo's name is gonna be like, oh wow. It's like why don't we just talk about the game? Like
mhm.
like there's a dude. somebody, a 21-year-old scored a hat trick. Like, let's talk about the game. Ronaldo came on at some point, and it's just the game, dude. Like, I get it, he's a big star, or whatever, but it doesn't have to be like all about him when he didn't really have anything to do with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather get some real analysis than just like, oh, look at Ronaldo, look at Ronaldo, look at Ronaldo. It's like, come on, yo. And yeah, Messi starts every match because Dybala gets no love from from
Literally no
Argentina.
love.
I don't think he's gotten 1 minute. I seen him warming up one time and they didn't put him in against Australia. And I think that's because some years back, I think it was a World Cup qualifier, Uruguay versus Argentina. Dybala got a red card kind of early in the match, and he cried. Like, he started crying like on the pitch, and I don't think they ever let him live that down. They're like, because it was kind of shocking. It was like, whoa, dog, like cry later. Dude, like, don't start crying
Yeah.
like right now, dude.
I've never seen that before. I'll have to look it up.
I'll try to find it. Like, it wasn't like big news, but I mean, that was when we could watch the Condom World Cup qualifiers, and it was just kind of like, dog, like, it's not
That's
like Argentina's gonna qualify, dude. You're fine, yo. Like, I don't know why you're crying right now. Like, but maybe he never gets chances with Argentina. He's probably so sad. Like, I get my one
he's
chance, I get a red card.
he literally does get no love. Like I always forget that he's even there.
I saw him
Um
warming up, and I was like, oh, he's gonna get some minutes. He did not get 1 minute. Like, wow. But going back to Portugal versus Switzerland, in my opinion, like, I was more shocked. Okay, I'm gonna say how I felt about the match. In all honesty, I felt like, did you watch it or no?
I didn't watch it, no.
Okay, okay. So you just got to believe everything I'm saying. In my opinion, I think Switzerland played bad more than Portugal played good, because Gonzalo Ramos' first goal was like a 1 in a million shot, like 1 in a million. Like, when he cocked his foot back, like, nobody thought that was going to go in. It like snuck in the top corner at the near angle, and it was like, whoa, like for me, like, that's not as much skill as luck. Like, you're just booting it at the goal, you're trying, and it just went in. Probably your coach would tell you don't take that shot, but it went in. And to be honest with you, I feel like they're gonna gas him up after this match. But for me, like, yeah, scoring 3 goals is a big deal, but he didn't look amazing to me. Like, he got 3 goals. Like, the first one I think was lucky. He had another one that was like on a really good cross, like a tap in, and then another one he was like 1v1 with the goalie, and he kind of like chipped it over him, but from a close angle. So I wasn't watching the match and be like, oh, this is the guy right here. Like, I was
Right.
like, a center forward, like, you don't, you just stay around there and push the line. And I mentioned this on Twitter. Giroud last World Cup didn't score any goals, and France won the World Cup. And every single match, you would say Giroud played really well, but he did not score one time. So Ramos, like, yeah, for sure he's going to get a lot of hype, but for me, I wasn't like, oh my God, this is the guy.
Right.
Um, Rafael Guerrero scored a really good goal. The goal of the match for sure, like the goal that was like, wow, was Rafael Leao when he came on late. He had a really nice goal, curler from the left side. That one was sweet. But Switzerland just looked terrible. I was really shocked. Like, they looked good in the Euros. I think they beat France, came back and they beat France on penalties in the Euros, but they came back, I think, from 2-0 down to beat France, to end up winning that match. I'm guessing maybe they started Shaqiri, and like, Shaqiri's washed. I'm sorry.
Yes.
They left him in way too long. And yeah, well, either way, they scored 6 goals. It looks great. but it wasn't the same kind of match that Brazil versus South Korea. I thought South Korea was like at sometimes hanging with Brazil and like looking good against Brazil. Switzerland at no point looked good. Like they were terrible.
Yeah, I mean that I don't know if that surprised me about Switzerland. I guess excuse me. Um when you say like it was more like Portugal wasn't that good, like it wasn't convincing for from Portugal, but it doesn't shock me that like I think Portugal should have won this
I would agree. I would agree.
match regardless, but I mean I don't even really know many players on Switzerland other than like Shaqiri, who's their goalie,
Uh,
Jan Summer.
yeah. I
Um,
no, I know a few of them. They got Brilliant Bolo, who looks pretty, who was like playing
oh,
well.
and Bolo, right? Yeah, you're right.
They got that one center back from I
Oh,
don't know if he's still in BVB or not, but he was
Shay,
a
Shay.
Kanji maybe.
Oh, Akanji, yeah.
Um, they got Rodriguez. I don't know who he's playing for right now, but he used to be on AC Milan, one of the more handsome ballers. I think he's left back. And I think he played for Wolfsburg too for a bit.
Yeah, Wolfsburg. He's,
Um,
he's at Torino now. Right?
oh damn, okay, he's still in Italy.
Yeah.
That shit is like playing for Torino is like playing in the second division anywhere else. Let me see. They got some players. Safarovic or something like that. I heard of him before. Either way, like obviously Switzerland is a small country. And then they got Granit Xhaka. Um, Switzerland is a small country, and like they haven't won shit. But when they were in the Euros last year, I mean, whenever that was a couple of years ago, they looked good, and I didn't expect for it to be. I mean, and even like watching the commentators, like listening to the commentators, they were all shocked. Like, wow, like we didn't expect Switzerland to be looking this bad. Um, because it's not to say like Portugal didn't play well, they did, but it was almost like the Spain Costa Rica game. Like
Right.
Costa Rica was just like not trying to do anything, and it almost felt like that was Switzerland. But like going back to the Brazil South Korea, where Brazil won 4-1, there were points in that match where South Korea was like playing good football and putting pressure on Brazil. And I think Caesar said this to me while we were both watching it. Like South Korea is like respecting Brazil too much. They need to like get on them a little bit more.
Hmm.
But we'll see. Let's get into these quarterfinals. We got some quarterfinals coming up. I think Friday and Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, or Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday. I don't know. Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Um, we will be looking forward to, and I'm gonna want your predictions for these outcomes as well, Holly. I'm gonna need
All
that.
right. Let's go.
We got Croatia versus Brazil. Let me get your pre-match analysis on this and your prediction.
Well, I'm hoping this one. Actually, no, I kind of hope it goes into penalties
Oh,
just for
oh.
Croatia's sake. I just think it would be
No.
a funny. I know, I do too. Um, I think it would be funny if they, take that route again. But realistically, I do think Brazil will beat Croatia. Um, like we said, Croatia was a team that I underestimated. I doubted a little bit, and they haven't looked bad. They haven't looked bad. So I think this will just kind of looking at the matchups. This could be one of the closer ones as far as skill, but I think Brazil will win.
Okay,
We want score lines
let's
or
do it.
just I'm gonna go for a 3-1. 3-1 Brazil.
Ooh, okay. I did watch Brazil versus South Korea. I do think Neymar looked a little tender. He didn't look like his full self to me. Maybe he'll be a little bit more healthy when it comes to the game on Friday or Saturday, whatever day it is. But he looked a little tender. I do think Brazil has a better team, but Brazil, okay. I count Neymar as a midfielder. I don't like right now in Neymar's state. I'm gonna rate Luka Modric over Neymar. And even if Neymar's healthy, Neymar is a better player skill wise. But I think if you like looking at overall, like just the determination and mental toughness and like been there, done that kind of person, I'm gonna give it to Luka Modric. There's something about having a really good midfielder who is also a leader that can propel your team. Um, I worry about a team like Brazil going down 1-0. Um, you know, or being late. Like, I don't worry about Brazil being late in the match tied. I worry about them being down a
Hmm.
goal because we've seen Thiago Silva crumble in the past. We've seen Neymar crumble when it's pressure time. Um, Marquinhos as well. Like, you don't really have, I don't know who's going to be the one to lift them up if they go down.
Right.
And Croatia's a good team, but I'll pick Brazil, maybe like a 2-1 or something like that, though.
Doing okay.
But I worry about it, and for sure, Caesar's going to be like terrified watching it at 4 in the morning in Hawaii. All right, what about Netherlands versus Argentina?
This one worries me for the Netherlands, just because, yeah, they've kind of, I would say they're kind of like coasting by. They're like we previously mentioned, they haven't looked like overly convincing. Um, but I also just think that is Louis Van Gaal's style. Like I've always thought like he plays the most boring football ever. Like, um, I mean, I don't remember too much at his other stints for the Netherlands, but at United, like my lord, that was awful.
That was pretty rough. I remember that.
That was a rough time. So I don't know if that's kind of like what's happening with the Netherlands right now. Um, but I do hope they get the win. I'm not convinced that they can beat Argentina. This one could go to penalties.
Okay, we'll call it.
I'm gonna say it ends 0-0, goes to penalties, and Argentina will win.
But okay, but in your other bracket, you picked Netherlands. So.
In my, but that was a pre-World Cup bracket.
Okay, all right.
I I haven't been I haven't been impressed with them really.
Okay. Um,
We already know that our brackets are wrong, so we
well,
can change now.
I think we both have France, England, Netherlands, Argentina in the quarterfinals, but the other two I don't. Well, maybe you did pick Croatia and Brazil. I don't remember. Um, okay, Netherlands versus Argentina. Argentina is another team like I'm not overly impressed with. Frankie De Jong is playing, right? He's not
Yeah,
hurt. Um,
no,
I do think a player like Frankie De Jong can potentially neutralize somebody like Messi. Um, honestly, Argentina, like I watched them against Mexico and I watched them against Australia. They don't really do it for me like that. Like who like yeah, they're just I feel like they're a team like almost like hoping to score from a set piece. Um
yeah,
yeah, there's nobody like even Messi hasn't really impressed me much this World Cup, and he scored, but I wasn't like those. I'm just like, dude, like somebody just got to play a little bit of defense, and he wouldn't score those goals. But whatever, his goal against Mexico was pretty good. Um, I feel like Netherlands, your boy Cody Gakpo is over there balling, running
he's been good.
around.
Yeah,
You got Depay. You got Frankie De Jong. Blend scored a goal.
I know. Love that for him.
Dumfries out there doing his thing, getting assists. I kind of think Netherlands will get this, and I'm not even thinking it'll be that close.
No?
I'm thinking like I can see this going like 3-0. Or I'll say 3-1. I'll say 3-1.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? We should write these down actually. So we'll see
We
what happens.
should.
Okay, I'm gonna write. Okay, what did I say for Brazil, Croatia?
I think you said 2-1.
2-1, 2-1. And you said
I
uh
said 3-1.
3-1. Okay, Netherlands, you said penalties.
Penalties, Argentina moves on.
Okay. And I said 3-0.
Yeah.
It looks worse writing it down. Okay. Morocco versus Portugal. What do you think? A derby.
Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? I've just been Morocco's a team that I have been impressed with. And their run hasn't been easy. So, making it out of the group, maybe you can say it was. But they've just looked really good. Like Ziyech looks good. Their forward looks good. Um,
Hakimi.
Hakimi is playing well. I prefer them to win over Portugal, to be honest. Um, I think this one will be a I'm gonna go with 3-1 again for Morocco.
Oh, okay. Let me write it down.
These are gonna be high scoring quarterfinal matches,
Which they
except for the Netherlands,
which they for
Argentina.
sure won't. Like
Yeah,
you would not be entertained like that. Um, Morocco versus Portugal. I mean, when I'm looking at Portugal's team, they lost Danilo ex Machina, which is a big blow, I think. But Carvalho kind of stepped in for him, even though Switzerland was trash. Um, I think Portugal has a good team, yo. They
they
got
do.
they got a good team. They got good players. I think they got good leaders. I mean, like I think about the 2000, what was that, 2016 Euros? You're gonna hate this part, but I remember in the final. No, I remember before the final. I don't know. They played France in the final.
Hmm.
Um, there was a team they played before that where it went to penalties. I can't remember who it was. And I just remember that video when they're going to penalties, and I never seen like that level of leadership from a player than Ronaldo. Like he was really like out there getting them ready, and it was João Moutinho was like looking nervous. He like went up to him. He was like, "Look." Like João Moutinho didn't want to take a penalty. Like he was like wanting to go like eighth or something like that. And he was like, "No, you're a good penalty taker. Come over here. You're gonna take the penalty. Do your best. If it goes in, that's good. And if it doesn't, like it's in God's hands."
Yeah.
And like forced him to go take a penalty. I think when you have like leaders like that, when it comes down to this stage of the tournament, it makes a difference. And this is a team that's won the Euros. I don't really count the Nations League, but they won that. Uh, so I feel like Morocco, although to be honest with you, I haven't watched them play yet. They beat Belgium. Did they beat Canada?
They beat Canada pretty badly, yeah. They haven't the thing is that they haven't conceded many goals.
Mm,
I think the Canada game that they did concede it, they beat them 2-1, and it was a deflection. Like Canada's goal was an own goal.
mm.
It was a cross that
Oh
got
yeah,
deflected
I
by
remember
a
that.
defender. So like
But Canada also didn't have anything to play for at that point too. So
at that no, they didn't. Um,
and
but they
Belgium is
didn't they,
and Belgium is weak.
they didn't concede against Belgium. Yeah, but they didn't even concede against Spain. It was a 0-0 game that went to penalties. So I
No,
don't know. I'm
Croatia. They played Croatia,
yeah,
and it was
that
no.
was the first match. Yeah, 0-0. They've conceded one goal all World Cup.
I think it has more to say about the World Cup than Morocco.
Really? You're not going to give them credit at all?
No, not really.
I mean, mind you, the only game I did watch them play was the Canada game, but I don't know.
I'm gonna
The only goal they concede is an own goal, like against some pretty good teams.
Is Belgium good though? Croatia's regular.
Croatia's mid, but
Yeah, Croatia's
Spain,
mid. Wait, did they play Spain?
that's who they just played, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, in the round of 16.
Round of 16, yeah.
No, they Spain out of here, dude. Spain is whatever.
But
Spain lost
but they
to
should Spain should score
I,
against a side like Morocco.
years ago. But okay, you know what? Let's look at this. Let's look at this. Who did Spain start? I'm here to talk some shit. Actually, let's go. Who are these bums they started over here in Spain? If you're not bringing Isco, like I don't want to hear nothing from you. Okay, we got
Asensio.
Asensio, Ferran Torres. He's the Neanderthal of forwards. Danny Olmo. Like this front three is below mid. Like I think Danny Olmo is like kind of a starter for RB Leipzig, but Asensio barely plays. Ferran Torres barely plays. Pedri, Gavi, Busquets is a decent midfield. Busquets can't really move, but Pedri and Gavi, like you're going to get a lot of movement. Pedri for sure likes to run around. Jordi Alba, eh, you're really started Llorente at right back. What are you doing? Laporte, who was like scared to keep playing for France, and Rodri's
For
playing
real.
center back. Like, what are we doing here? I don't think you got to
It's
score with Asensio and Ferran Torres and Danny Olmo up top. I don't think you got to score.
yeah, that's a whack front three.
It's pretty bad. Like you called up Eric Garcia. Like when you call up Eric Garcia is the worst center back I've ever seen. Like, just don't even call him up, yo. Like, what are you doing? I'd rather Danny Olmo play center back than him.
Oh my God.
Um, I don't know. Well, okay, you said 3-1 Morocco.
Yes.
I'm gonna go 1-0 Portugal.
Okay.
Even though it's hard for me to think that Portugal only score one goal. I can see them scoring more than one, but they're not going to be having all these goals in every match. But I feel like the biggest match of these, which is also a historical derby, a lot of history, even up in your neck of the woods,
Yep.
big derby. Are the Quebecois, are they going to be going for France?
No.
You think they'll be going for England?
This is probably like a nightmare for them.
I would think they'll go for France.
They want nothing to do with France.
So do you think they would pick England over France though?
But like Quebecois people hate French
I would think
people.
they hate England more.
I don't know. I don't know. That's probably like a nightmare of a
They
match.
want them both to die. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is the big derby here and probably the biggest match, England versus France. What do you think in your war-torn country of Canada, separated of language lines? I remember when I got there, I'm looking at a thing of Ben and Jerry's. I was like, okay, a chocolate chip, I might get this. And I turned it around and the whole thing was in French. I was like, it is lit up here.
Yeah. Wait. Are like products like it's only English in the States? Not even Spanish?
I'm gonna be very honest with you. Depending on where you are, you can see like billboards in Spanish. You can come across like some things in Spanish, but on some ice cream, no.
Okay.
You guys have two official languages.
Yeah. And
We have one.
everything everything you pick up English side, French side,
Yeah,
everything.
I mean, I I wasn't necessarily expecting it in Vancouver. I'm like, yeah, I could imagine like over there, but I'm like all the way out here, y'all are going hard.
Yeah, no, everything. Um, for me though, this match will be England's like it is their biggest test. Um, and they have looked good throughout the tournament, but playing against France is, I don't know, that's just a whole nother story to me. You're playing against the defending champions who've looked pretty good. So to be honest, I think this is the end of the road for them.
Mm.
Um, I do think France will come out on top, but I think it'll be a good match. Like that's definitely the one I'm looking forward to watching. So it'll probably be like the no, I've said 3-1 way too much. I think it'll be a 2-1 win for
2-1.
France.
Okay. 2-1 for France. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Yeah, I think this is gonna be like such a big match. This one's gonna be crazy. France, even though they're starting one of my most hated midfields, Adrian Rabiot, they're like, oh, he's playing well. I'm like, dude, he's got ballers all around him. Like,
Yeah.
how do you mess that up? Like, come on now. Um, Last match they started Varane, Upamecano at center back, and England started Maguire and Stones. Oh my god. But I do think Maguire and Stones are good center backs for the World Cup. Like the World Cup, you need guys that can clear corners, that can clear those set pieces.
Hmm.
And there was some match, I want to say it was England's first match against Iran. They played Iran first, I want to say, or it was one of their matches that maybe was a little bit closer than that one actually. Um, Harry Maguire, I saw him clear like four balls in the box like in a row, like literally just like clearing everything. Both teams are gonna be like so hyped for this match. Like they're gonna be like this is like a proving ground for all of them. But France got this one guy, and his name is Kylian Mbappe. Like
Giroud.
I think like they're talking about Kyle Walker versus Mbappe, and I'm like, stop it. They're like, I'm sorry. They're like, stop. They would like Kyle Walker, I think, is like a beast, but like he's not the Kyle Walker from like the Tottenham first year City days. Like he's not running like that anymore.
No.
Um, and I think it's gonna take like one time for Mbappe to just like kick the ball around him and run and get it, where they're gonna be like, yeah, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna be easy for France though, because I feel like England can clog that box. They got a lot of big bodies, and England got strong players. Like you got Jordan Henderson, you got Declan Rice, even Harry Kane, those center backs, Kyle Walker, Luke Shaw. Like you got like kind of like big, strong athletes. France coming in with Dembele and Griezmann, those are like little boys, even Mbappe. Even obviously like Chouamani's like got a big body, but like he's still a kid, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, so I don't think it'll be easy. I'm gonna say this one goes to penalties
Mm.
at 2-2.
Okay.
Oh, in the penalties, I'm gonna go for the upset. I'm gonna say England wins on penalties.
Wow.
Yeah, at 2-2.
Okay.
Even though that goes against my my
Your
original
bracket.
yeah. But also I'm gonna think it's really whack if France repeats. Like that's come on, that's annoying, Like
It would be, yeah. But I don't know. I can't see like Kyle Walker's gonna have to have the best game of his life
You know, I'm gonna be like I've watched Mbappe as much as anybody. Like for sure, I've watched Mbappe as much as anybody. Like all these PSG people, I've watched Mbappe from Monaco days to now. Like so many PSG matches I've watched. Mbappe can have a bad game. A-
Yeah.
And Mbappe is one of those players. He's also the type that like when it's not going well, he gets frustrated. Um, he can get a bit petulant. I've seen matches where like the match isn't going that well for him, and he just like get the ball and just like shoot some wild ball and just like shoot it, just sky it over the bar and just like put his head down and walk away. Like I've seen him go there. Obviously, France is like really hyped and they're having a great World Cup right now. And Giroud broke a record, and Mbappe's like looking at these records, and I'm sure he's also looking at Giroud's record. Like I can beat that in a little bit. Um, but I feel like England can frustrate them. You know, they can frustrate them. They got Jog Bellingham.
Yeah. Well, England are riding on a good wave too right now. So,
Yeah.
but that's definitely the game to watch for me.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. That'd be exciting. Um, and it's hard because I'm like, I for sure like France more than England, but there's a part of me that kind of wants France to lose too. So
It's well, yeah, it's like, defending champions, you kind of just want them.
get out of here, dude.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that like a bit off topic, but I think that PSG made sure that Mbappe was there. Like they bullied him into signing that extension and not going to Real Madrid. Because they're looking at they got Messi in Argentina, Neymar Brazil, and Mbappe France. One of these three's got to win the World Cup, and like it'll be great for like PSG to bring a World Cup winner back to the club.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of looking at all of them like, nah. Don't tell Caesar though. Like I would, it would be make me so happy if Netherlands won. Depay gets to go back to Barcelona. Like, yeah, y'all treat me like shit, but I beat all y'all in that World Cup though.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but that'll be exciting. The quarterfinals. Some of these games are kind of whatever. Like I don't feel like I really would love to watch Morocco versus Portugal, or really Brazil versus Croatia, but whatever. We'll see. Other World Cup news, international play news. One of your favorite players of all time, Eden Hazard, has retired from international football, ending his career with Belgium with 126 caps and 33 goals. Not the greatest clip, but he did his thing.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite players of all time. I mean, when players retire from international football first, it's not weird to me, but it's always like a shock. I don't know why. I know he is past his like prime and he's been
Very
on quite the decline.
hardcore.
Yeah. But I don't know, like why not go why not want to go to as many World Cups or Euros? Like that's
Eden
like
Hazard,
big.
he shouldn't even have been at this World Cup, honestly.
He shouldn't have, but like I don't know what like but I also wouldn't be surprised if he comes back. We've seen that
How? How?
I
He
just mean like
sucks.
comes out of retirement and attempts to make a comeback. Like we've seen it too much lately. Like,
It's true.
you know, with Messi and
Ugh.
the one that really sticks out to me is Hakeem Ziyech not getting called up for Morocco, and then now he's in a quarterfinals with Morocco 4 years later. Like
Yeah, I
crazier
think.
things have happened.
Yeah, and Roberto Martinez is leaving too finally, and
Ex-
hopefully Harry
yeah.
Henry get his ass out of there. I'm like, you're just sitting there getting a check for no reason. Um, he, I mean, the funny thing, what would make me happy, like he's gonna retire. He has 33 goals. It would make me really happy if Michi Batshuayi has 27. So hopefully, like Michi Batshuayi can like stay and score 7 goals with Belgium, so he can be second behind Lukaku, who has 68 goals with
Oh
Belgium.
wow.
by by far their highest scorer. Like I don't think anybody's gonna reach it. Kevin De Bruyne has 25 and 97 caps, and I want to say he's 30 now, right? Um,
I believe so.
31. He'll be turning
Okay.
32 next year, in June. So yeah, I mean, Eden Hazard, dog, like, you didn't even have to announce that. Like,
Yeah, it's true.
bro, we saw you playing. You're the reason why Belgium was bad. Like, they're starting you. You should have told them, don't start me, dude. Like, if we're winning by 2 goals, let me come on at the end. Because y'all could have done so much better without you out there playing, running around the true jog Bellingham, Eden Hazard. Um, okay, also, um, I don't know if you need some time to recover from that news. I know that's your guy.
I'm devastated.
There's some transfer rumors. Obviously, we're coming out of the World Cup, and it'll be the January transfer window, pretty much right after that. And players are going to be making a name for themselves. We got some rumors. Gabriel Martinelli of your favorite team, Arsenal. They're saying that Barcelona is looking at him. I guess Barcelona has some money. Still only 21. You think that'd be a good move for Barcelona, or do they need another winger?
No, but in typical Barcelona fashion, they're going to anyway. Um, so like I don't know that wouldn't be a bad move. I worry when players like that young make that big move really quick after one tournament, you know? So but I mean get that paycheck, I guess. And Barcelona are gonna do it anyway. They always get what they don't need. So I don't know.
I feel like he
They
should leave this January because it's like it looks like Arsenal's going to win the league. So it's like, damn dog, just stay with them and win the league, yo.
well, that's the thing. Unless it becomes a something for next season, I could see it happening. But I agree, like not that I want Arsenal to win the league, but it does look like it could happen. So
I
why
mean,
not just stay?
man, you might make that run without Ronaldo. They might make that run, but I doubt it.
I doubt it.
Where do you think Jog Bellingham should go? Because obviously he's like the big rumor every week. Um, and they're saying it's going to be for at least 100 million euros. Where do you want him to go?
Jude Bellingham. I don't know. Like I could see him at a Liverpool or Real Madrid.
But where do you want him though?
Where do I want? I mean,
Go ahead and say it. It's fine.
okay, I do want to see him play in the Premier League.
Okay.
So, and Liverpool would be the best fit for him. But because I don't really like English players in La Liga.
Yeah, no, it doesn't,
It
doesn't
just
really look
doesn't
right.
really work. So, um, it would be cool to see him at Real Madrid, but I think Liverpool is probably, and I think they are like high favorites to sign him. So I think he would do well in the Prem, well at Liverpool.
You don't want to see him on Man U? You're not really feeling it like that?
No, not really
Damn.
feeling it like that.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't at this point I don't even know who I want to see at United.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you. Um, they're saying that that doesn't really matter. I would love to see James Madison go somewhere because I've been watching him for years, and I'm like, this dude's so good. Like, can you please leave Leicester? They're about to get relegated. Um, I
I
guess
want to see Declan Rice
seriously, dude.
make a
Like
move.
West Ham and Leicester are about to get relegated. Like, can one of y'all like y'all are both they talked about Declan Rice at Man U for a while too.
They did, yeah.
Yeah. I like Declan Rice. Is it that serious to me? Not really. But like I like him though. But I also like defensive midfielders.
Yeah.
I guess the what we will see what the headlines will be is if Ronaldo actually does take this offer from Nasser in Saudi Arabia, he did not rule it out in the Piers
In
Morgan
the
interview.
interview.
He
Hmm.
said something along the lines of "We'll see," but they're talking about 200 something euros 200 something million euros a season.
Jeez.
What do
I
you think
could
he's going to do it?
um probably. I just
Yep.
don't know what else is realistic for him, especially like mid-season coming out of the drama, the World Cup. I can't see him really going anywhere else or fitting anywhere else.
Yeah, it'd be
Like
tough.
the I that's probably money aside, I think that's the biggest issue is where he fits. And it's so up in the air nowadays with him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to think about where he could actually fit as a player. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, like I would have liked to just for him to just retire. Like
Hmm.
maybe if Portugal win the World Cup, like dude, just retire. You know,
Yeah.
if they go to the final and lose, retire. But if they lose in the semifinal or whatever, I guess you can go play in Saudi Arabia. Play a little bit. Nasser got a couple good. They got Vincent Abubakar and Talisca. They have some guys over there. Um, but yeah, thinking about like when I'm thinking of like teams, I'm like, why would he go there? Why would they want him? Like
Yeah.
go take $200 million, dog.
If anything, it'll just be for like I can if he doesn't retire after this, which I don't think he would. I just think he needs to have like fine, go to Saudi Arabia, play one more season, and then
Go raise your
just
kids.
yeah.
They'll be a bad dad. Um, well, we made it podcast episode 283. Bam and Holly holding it down for Caesar out there in Hawaii,
Ukraine.
holding it down for Ukraine. My bad, just like Holly was a couple months ago. Got to do your duty. Um, till next week with some updates on the World Cup.
It'll be by the time we record next week, it'll probably be finals time.
But well, hopefully we can record before that. Yeah. Anyway, we made a podcast. Holler.